Hello again, my beloved friends. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the extraordinary response to my first video. I, as you could tell, was quite nervous about making it, and I just really appreciate the outpouring of love and support from my friends, and especially from, my friends on YouTube that already have channels. A lot of you came over from Crochet Rocks, and I appreciate that. I know this isn't exactly a crochet vlog, although I will be discussing crochet and yarn and perhaps knitting if I ever get the hang of it. So stay tuned for that. I'm really not going with a plan or a script here. I'm just kind of like doing it. So if there's something you want to see, let me know and I will make a video. So today I wanted to talk about my crochet hooks. So these crochet hooks were given to me as an early Christmas present from my husband. Because of my eds, I have a hard time holding on to thin crochet hooks, and I thought I was going to lose my ability to crochet. So my husband bought me these beautiful hooks off of Etsy. And it's actually a set of 7 hooks, and it's made out of Siberian cedar wood, which has some pretty astounding metaphysical properties if you're into that sort of thing. And these crochet hooks are hand-turned by a woman in Russia. Her name is Olga, and she sent the cutest little package with a Russian chocolate and the seven hooks. So the set that I got goes from a 4.0 millimeter up to a 10 millimeter. There are no half sizes, and there's 7 altogether. I'm not going to hold them all up because they all look the same. But they're hand-turned cedar wood. And my 5 millimeter hook, which I use the most, is actually getting this really beautiful kind of wear pattern on it that I picture my children seeing when they're older and thinking of how many stitches they watched me do when they were kids. And so they're heirloom quality for sure, and they are super duper light. So I'll link these in the description box when I post this video so you can support Olga and her small business instead of some of those bigger crochet hook companies that do the same thing and charge 10 times as much. I think for the whole set I spent $80 or $90. Or no, it was $120 I think for all 7, but she has sets that are like $70, $80, and then she sells the single hooks I think for like $14 or $15 each. And she does different types of wood as well. So, you might want to go check that out and then look up the different types of wood and what their metaphysical properties are if you're into that, and see how you feel about it. I really like these hooks because they kind of feel like magic wands. I know that's kind of cheesy. I'm really into Harry Potter, not into J.K. Rowling, but very into Harry Potter, and I really appreciate that I can take this magical wand and turn it into an endless number of beautiful things. So I really appreciate having high quality hooks. I have never owned such nice hooks before. I think the nicest one I had before this was from the Happy Hooker on Etsy. She does, I don't think she's on Etsy anymore. I think she's on Shopify now. But she does polymer clay hooks. The only issue with that for me, my hands, again, with the eds are, they dislocate easily and I have a lot of hand pain and trouble, and they're just kind of heavy for me. So the wood hooks are a better choice. But that's something I wouldn't have known unless I had tried a polymer clay hook. So something to keep in mind if you have arthritis and you feel like you're maybe at the end of your crocheting career is to invest in some high quality, lightweight wooden hooks, because it's changed my life. I was literally having breakdowns thinking I'm not going to be able to do my favorite thing anymore, and now with those hooks I crochet all day with no pain, and it's wonderful because days like today I'm out of bed to make this video, but I've been in bed most of the day. Here in Colorado we have indecisive weather. So it was 60 the other day, and then it got down to like 30, and I don't even know what the weather is today. I haven't been outside, but it just wreaks havoc on my joints and my bones. So past couple of days I haven't been doing that great. I've been just kind of like stuck in bed, and crocheting and video games are how I'm getting through. So you just have to find what works for you and cope the best that you're able to. But You know, if any of you are struggling right now, I hope that you remember that you are an absolutely precious being, and life is hard sometimes, but it's definitely worth living. Just try to remember that there's more good than bad, and something that works really well for me is every day I try to find something to be grateful for, even if the only thing I can find to be grateful for is a heating pad and a nice pillow. So, you know, find your own practice. Remember that life is precious and it's temporary, and someday all of our suffering will end, but for now you're here, so please stay. A little heavy for a crochet hook video, I guess, but I just think it's important to spread the message that you're not alone, and you know, suffering is just part of the human condition. And I know some of us suffer silently and people don't know necessarily around us how bad it is. So please know that you are not alone. And I will extend this invitation to anybody on my YouTube. You are welcome to contact me if you need extra support. Like, I'm here for you. I don't care if I don't know you. You matter to me. I think one of the biggest issues that we have as human beings is this illusion of disconnection, where we all live in our little boxes and live our little lives, you know, next door to other people living in their little boxes and their little lives, when the truth is we're all just trying to do the best that we can. Some of us maybe like to pretend like that disconnect is a little bit stronger than others, but at the end of the day, you know, we're all floating on a dust mote in space around a big burning ball of gas, and we are even smaller than the ants in the grand scheme of things. So remember that, you know, be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through, and, you know, just love one another. It's so important, especially now when we can't be together, to be supportive online. I see a lot of people being really negative towards each other unnecessarily, and I just don't understand it. I don't get what people get out of making other people's lives harder. So just know, anybody on my channel for any reason, if you ever need extra support, feel free to reach out to me. Like, I don't know what I can do to help you, but I will do my best. If all you need is an ear, I have that. If you need herbal remedies, I have those. If you just need a friend, you know, I'm here. So that being said, sorry about all the heavy, heartfelt talk, but I think in the year 2021, if we can't talk about these things, then it's never going to happen. So please live your life with an open heart. It changes things in the most beautiful, magnificent way. And the gratitude that comes from loving and being loved in return, it's worth more than all the gold in the world. So just remember that what you put out comes back to you, and I hope what you're putting out is something that you would love to receive, because if not, then I'm so sorry for what's coming in your future. We all have to pay the price. I've dealt with some past karma of my own, and it's just yeah, it can be a little intense. So I hope that we're all healing this year, and that we are celebrating each other and our differences and finding common ground on which to stand. And, you know, just looking forward to a better year than last year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, you know. So back to crochet. I did actually just get my December knit crate, and I am so excited. I don't know if any of you guys get knit crate or not. It came with a really cute little bag that I'm already using. It says Yarn Squad on it. And it's just one of these little drawstring backpack type bags, which is awesome because I can actually hang it on the back of my wheelchair and take my yarn anywhere. Not that I go anywhere but the living room lately. And then it came with 2 skeins of, all right, in the comments below, tell me, do you say skein, skein, or something else? I know this is a hank, but I'm talking about the word specifically skein, because I say skein. I heard it say skein. I don't know. It's probably skein. I don't really care. I'm probably going to keep saying it wrong. Anyway, I got 2 hanks of this Audine Wools by Knit Crate Twinkle DK, and the featured artist this month was Christy Glass, so it's Christy Glass Knits. And the colorway that I got, I don't know if you can see it, sparkling. Sorry, my lighting is really not great. Yeah, you can kind of see the sparkle there. It's got this metallic thread that runs through it, but surprisingly it's not scratchy at all. You know, sometimes the metallic threads are really like metal and then they break and they scratch you, and that's really uncomfortable. But this one is 80% merino wool, 10% cashmere, and 10% stellina. It's 250 yards and 100 grams. It's hand wash only, lay flat to dry. So I just got this for December, and I wanted to point out, if you do get Knit Crate, they are running behind. Please, please, please give them some grace. They are dealing with a global pandemic and delayed mailing, and I mean, just every business right now is having a hard time. So I don't think it's fair to really get mad at them because you don't get your yarn on time. I'm totally okay with not getting my December crate until the end of December. I just think it's important to remember that they're dealing with the same things that we are, and they have rules about how many people can work. So of course they're going to be slowed down a bit, but this yarn, I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. If you got the December Knit Crate Squad Goals colorway, or actually in any of the colorways, I don't know what the other ones were, let me know what you're going to make with it, because I have no clue. I have this habit of like collecting really nice yarn and not using it for anything. So I have like a ton of really beautiful wool, alpaca. Let's see, I think I've got some linen in there, some really nice wool from Knit Crate mostly, and then some from my friend Diane at Dyes Yarn. And she's actually based in the UK, so if you're in the UK and you want a hand-dyed yarn artist, if you want to support her, I will also link her in the description box below. I'm not sponsored by any of these people, by the way. I just think that as a small business owner, I should help other small business owners. My business is herbalism, but I have friends that, you know, work in yarn, work in photography, you know, just support your friends, I guess is what I'm saying. But tell me, what are you going to make with your Knit Crate this month for December, the December colorway? Because it's 2 skeins and, like I said, 250 yards. So that's, what, 500 yards altogether? And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I don't really do sparkles, so it's it's a little tricky. So I keep looking out this direction, but my good yarn is within eye shot. I actually have my closet door open for better lighting, and I'm looking at it and thinking, what am I gonna make? So I don't know if you guys are doing any of the crochet alongs this year or knit alongs that have just started. If you are, I would love to hear about them. I've never done one at the time that other people were doing it. I always wait until the whole thing is out and then do it at my own pace. So one of the ones that I've done, well, it's not done, but one of the ones I've been working on is the Sacred Space crochet blanket. And it's supposed to take like 9 weeks or something, and I'm on like month 8. Again, with eds, and then Christmas happens, and you know, just all these different things that you get caught up in. And then I move slower than most people anyway. I'm actually still catching up on my Christmas crochet. I've told my sister-in-law, I'm like, I'm making you something, but you can't have it yet because it's not done. So I made sure all the kids got their gifts on time. But yeah, the adults are all still waiting for theirs because I have a lower capacity to get things done on time. But luckily I have a very understanding family that loves me and accepts that I am slow. Let's see, what else can I talk to you guys about? Oh, I've just finished mittens, and the thumbs are just ridiculously long. I didn't use a pattern for these. A friend of mine, Mrs. White Mouse, is up in South Dakota. Sorry about the beeping, it's my wheels turning off. She's up in South Dakota and she has 3 grandchildren, and she asked me to make them hats and scarves and mittens. And so I've got one set done, blue set, and I'm working on this pink set, and then I have one more set to make, which will be green. But I didn't use a pattern, so I'm really proud of how these came out. I know the thumbs are way too long for like kid thumbs, but they're made with love, right? So what I did was basically just a magic circle, and then I increased, I think I did 4 rounds, increased for 4 rounds, and then just went in around until I got to where I thought this part of the hand would be, and then I I chained instead of single crocheted there to make a hole for the thumb. And then you work the thumb separately and sew it on. And then at the bottom it's just front post, back post, double crochet, which creates like this really nice elastic sort of stitch. So I'm hoping that they like them. I guess I won't really know if they don't, because I don't know her grandchildren, I only know her. So yeah, I'm proud of those though, because I just made it up as I went along. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I have a really hard time following patterns. I'll find something that I love, right? It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's magnificent, and I'll download the pattern and I'll think, I'm so gonna make this, and then I start, and I don't know, maybe halfway through, sometimes 3/4 of the way through, I just decide to do my own thing. I just get sick of like checking the paper, checking the screen every row or so. So I'm really more of a free spirit crocheter, I guess. I really do want to learn how to, I know this is knitted, but like to make a sweater or a cardigan or something fitted. And I've made doll clothes and baby clothes, but I haven't made something for myself yet. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a problem with authority. I have no idea. I can't follow a pattern to save my life. I'll like start and then I get to maybe row 15 or 20 and I'm like, okay, that's enough of this. And I'll either frog the whole project or I'll just continue on in my own way and then make it work. So most of my crocheted projects don't end up looking too professional, but I had fun making them, and that's really the goal for me. I don't really care if they're perfect or not. They're made with love. And I think anything made with love is lovely. But yeah, tell me, like, can you follow a crochet pattern? Do you have any hints or tips or tricks to following a crochet pattern? Because for whatever reason, I can start it out and then I just off the rails. Oh, sorry, that was my dog, my dog laying down. Yeah, I have a really hard time with it. The only thing that I've been able to like follow a pattern all the way through is like a hat, because they're not very long projects and most of the time they're pretty repetitive. So it's one of those things I just have to get my head around. With the Sacred Space blanket I've been following, but I've been using the YouTube videos because I can't stand reading a pattern, even though I printed the whole thing out and put it in a really nice binder, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna, no. It's supposed to be my quarantine project, so I started it in March. I think March. So however many months that is, it's been almost a year and I haven't finished it, but I am really close. I'm on part 7, I think. I don't know. I'll bring it next time and show you guys. It's in the other room, so you can't see it today, but I will show it to you in a future video. Yeah, what's your big dragon of a project? What haven't you been able to finish? You know, I love to know what other people are struggling with. It makes you feel less alone as a crocheter, I guess. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that struggles with this, but I'm finding that that's just not true. Everybody has a hard time with something. Some people can't make anything without a pattern, and so you know, they're always following somebody else's pattern, and then other people like me who don't crochet with a pattern end up writing patterns. So I think what I should do is maybe just start writing it down, what I'm doing. Although then again, I have to stop crocheting and write down what I'm doing, and that feels like work. I don't know. Anything to avoid work. No, not really. It's just it's hard. I don't want to stop crocheting to do something. I'm here to crochet. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing the crochet thing. I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I do feel like my friends that do design patterns, like that's kind of how they started, is they're like, you know, I don't really like following the rules, I'm just gonna do my own thing. And then at some point they decided to write down what that thing was, and they've been wildly successful with their patterns. So it would be interesting to see. I have tested a few patterns before. I have a friend in the UK. I don't know why I have so many friends in the UK. No offense, UK, I love you guys. She does, I think Crochet Goddess is the name of her business, and she does, her name is Adina, and she does beautiful crochet patterns, and I tested a hat for her and it came out horribly because apparently I can't follow directions. I love it, I think it's cute, but it's not meant to be a slouchy hat, and it is on my daughter, so I'm not really good at testing crochet patterns. Although I did notice a few errors and helped her with that. She definitely pointed out that I was not doing it right. So But she's a lovely lady, and she has some really beautiful children's patterns, especially like the one that I did is called the Claire Bear hat, and it has these two little ears that I did it in pink, and it just came out so adorable. So that was my first experience testing a crochet pattern, and I think I would do it again for the right person. And Adina is the right, I would do it again for Adina, but I don't know that I would seek out to be a crochet tester. So again, you have to follow the pattern and all that. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like there's some sort of there's like a wall there. I can't break through it. Just follow the rules. And I'm like, no. Rebellious crocheter, I guess. So yeah, that's, I don't really have too many works in the process right now. I am working, like I said, on a pocket shawl for my sister-in-law as a belated Christmas gift, and then I'm gonna make a hat for my brother-in-law, and I think that'll round out my Christmas presents. I'm gonna finish these hat, scarf, mitten kits for my friend Mrs. White Mouse, and I am working on the hat for the pink mittens now, and of course I have my sacred space that's not finished, and I'm thinking my goal is to finish that by summer this year. We'll see. I really hate to put deadlines on myself, because with a chronic illness, you find when you have a deadline, the only thing that you're giving to yourself is stress. You think you can do something, you think it's a reasonable amount of time, and then it turns out that you have 4 flares in a row, and it's not a reasonable amount of time. So I guess if there's anybody watching this that is well, not just a crocheter, anybody that does anything that has a chronic illness, is please give yourself grace. Like, it's going to take you longer to do the things that other people do. When you're not healthy, it's really hard to get things done, especially if you're like me, where you can sit up and do something for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then you have to literally lay down. Or if you have to recover after a bath, you have to pace yourself according to a different timeline than somebody who's healthy doing the same thing. Because of course, I know some of you subscribe to the spoon theory. I occasionally use that term, but really what it comes down to is I don't have as much energy as most people. And when I do have energy, I want to spend it on my kids. So I'm not concerned about deadlines and projects. If I have the energy, I'm going to spend time with my children. I'm going to play games with my children. I'm going to take them to the park. I'm going to cook them dinner. I'm going to do crafts with them. So I guess the moral of the story is wise energy conservation. Spend it on what matters. Stressing about deadlines, it doesn't matter. I understand that like some people in their work have deadlines that they have to meet. I have been disabled for a while. I'm still in the process of trying to get on disability. We've been very fortunate because of our situation. I haven't had to work. But yeah, there's no way I could work on a deadline. I can barely live on a deadline, I had breakfast at noon today. I actually woke up at like 10, but I had such a hard time getting out of bed. I didn't have breakfast until about noon today. So these are things that I struggle with, and I'm not going to hide that on this channel. I'm going to let you know, like, I'm having a crap day. Like, today's kind of a crap day. I'm still grateful because I'm alive, and I have yarn. I'll have to show you when I get my yarn organized. There's plenty of reason to keep living, but today is definitely a hard day. I'm going to be, as soon as I get done with this video, I'll probably be laying down for like an hour or two. I might sit up and play some video games or try to get some stitching done, but my hands are kind of stiff today because of the weather. But yeah, I can't live on the same timeline as other people because I simply just don't have the capacity to do so. So if you find yourself in the same situation, forgive yourself. Like, it's not your fault if you're sick. You didn't do anything wrong. You're sick. If it was somebody else, would you say the same things to them that you're saying to yourself? The answer is almost unequivocally no. You would never call somebody in a wheelchair lazy. I do that. I call myself lazy for being in a wheelchair, and I think about it and I'm like, wow, that is messed up. Like, I would never say that to somebody else who uses a wheelchair. I'm considered an ambulatory wheelchair user because I do have the ability to walk. Not for very long, not for very far, but I can walk. You know, if the house is on fire, I could get out. I can walk to the bathroom. There are places that I can walk to. I just have a lot of dislocations. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're belittling yourself for not getting things done, if you're calling yourself lazy, or just saying mean things to yourself, take a moment and sit with it. Ask yourself why, and then more importantly, tell yourself that you don't deserve that, because you don't. You're a precious, sacred, beautiful being, and you deserve to be taken care of, whatever that looks like. For some people, that looks like going for a run every morning. That's what I used to do. Can't do it anymore. Now getting taken care of looks like I lay in bed until noon, and then I have pozole for breakfast, and then I come here and talk to you guys. That's my self-care for today. I haven't drank enough water. I haven't taken a shower, but as soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna go get myself some water, and then I'm gonna lay down, and all I'm gonna do for the rest of the day is drink water and watch shows or play video games or crochet. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it, because I know that if I don't do that today, I won't be able to play with my kids tomorrow. So again, spend your energy where it counts, on what matters, and remember that there is absolutely nothing wrong with resting. I know in our society we're kind of like valued by our ability to produce. Well, your value is infinite and your worth is beyond measure. So don't ever let anybody tell you that you're worth less than you are, because you are absolutely 100% a precious being. And it doesn't change if you're laying in bed. It doesn't change if you can't work. It doesn't change if you can't do the laundry today. It doesn't change if you can't cook dinner today. If all you can do today is survive, then you are still just as precious and wonderful, and you deserve to be taken care of and loved. So it feels like a good spot to leave off on. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my sign off, I guess, and let you guys know that I will attempt to do a video every couple days. I'm not going to give you a schedule, because Lord knows I can't keep a schedule. But I hope that you found this video enjoyable. I'm definitely a lot more comfortable because I put it on selfie mode. So I can see myself. I'm actually just talking to me this whole time. And yeah, hopefully as I do these, I'll get more comfortable. You guys have been astounding with your support. Like, I really was trepidatious about doing this, and now that so many people have just said, yeah, keep doing it, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, I'm going to. So, you'll get me on my good days, you'll get me on my bad days, you might get me cranky once in a while. I mean, it's rare, but it happens, especially when I'm tired. I'm usually pretty upbeat, but sometimes, it gets to you, and I'm not going to hide that from you, because this is who I am, this is my life, and I'm so happy to be sharing it with you. So remember that you are precious and sacred and beloved, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. Blessings. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.